Brainstorming. Welcome to the world of brainstorming. Wow, what a wonderful subject. Shape up your thinking process. It's time to shape up your thinking process and get ready for the wonderful brainstorming methodology, the bright way to brainstorm and succeed. Let's go right in. What is your need for brainstorming? Because normally when you brainstorm, you go from idea one from one person to idea two from someone else, probably idea three and there is idea four, and then pops up yet another alternative idea, combining probably one, two, three, or some of it. And that's how it proceeds. But is there a process? And before we go into that process, let's understand what is the need for brainstorming. Brainstorming is all about to generate ideas, to understand different perceptions and views, to identify problems, to solve those problems, to find alternatives, to improve our understanding of the situation, to get to the solutions faster, to save time, to respect people for their thoughts, and to build collaboration. Oh, wonderful. So many uses, so many uses. But what is the right way to go about brainstorming so that we don't get shortchanged? We always benefit from the right process, the right way of brainstorming. And that is where brainstorming is all about learn to think and think to learn. We cannot learn anything without thinking, and we cannot think anything without learning. So they are completely dependent on each other, interwoven, right? And you have the power, my dear friends, you have the power to shape your thinking for the better. How do we gain that power? So your thinking has many dimensions and shapes. So as you think in shapes to shape your present and shape your future. Mind, easy for the mind to recall shapes, and that is why you associate a shape with your thought process, and you see the magic happening in the way your mind can probably get you into the best position in any difficult situation. So shape your thinking. So if you want to think alternatives, let's shape your thinking. When you think, the usual tendency is to think many things at once. The mind is like a monkey, it's bombarding from different angles, too many different things. So you need to focus. You look for dangers and you look for difficulties. You look for new ideas. You look for more information, and you have your feelings and emotions to deal with. All these things are happening simultaneously in the mind. And so dimensional thinking helps you separate out all these different types of thought processes. It gives you a focus, it gives you a very clear pathway, and it gives you a methodology step by step to make sure that you arrive at the right destination. Yeah. So when we say thinking, the thinking shapes. Each of these shapes that you see helps you think different. There is the star, there is the square, the rectangle, the circle, the cylinder, and the triangle. The star, the square, the rectangle, the circle, the cylinder, and triangle. So how do we use these 6 shapes to help your thought process? How does these shapes work magic? Right? What is the secret behind these shapes, and how does it align with our brainstorming? Yep. So let's look at the star. Why do we need star? Star is at the starting point. You look up to the star. It helps you generate creative ideas and alternatives. Look at all angles as in a star. There are many angles in a star. Our job is to, whenever you deal with any situation, right, any dynamic, any hurdle, whatever the challenge may be, look at all the angles. And this has to be done without criticism. When somebody brings in, this is what I think, you accept the idea, right? You look at the merit of that idea and you contribute your own idea, but never criticizing, always accepting, always appreciating. Because unless you appreciate different angles and perspectives, whatever they may be, however stupid they may be, however silly they may be, every angle helps you open up another angle, yet another angle to your thought process. And that's the magic of the star. Yeah. So give your proposals and suggestions, talk about variations and modifications, make a positive effort to be creative, and bring up all possibilities, virtually any possibility. Now, from the start, once you're done with this phase of your thought process, you move to the square. Because now that the star has given you different possibilities, different ideas, you're back to square. Your job now is to work on getting hard facts and figures to back that star idea. So what do? It's about information. Information we have, and the missing information, and the information we need. We need to back it up. You need to make sure that you get your data to support that great star idea. Yep. Now that you're done with the square, the star and the square, you move to the next shape, which is a rectangle. Like a rectangle beam, support the star idea by identifying the strengths and the positive aspects. So a beam always supports. So now that you have the star and the square, your job is to make sure that you are looking as to why this idea will work, how to make this idea work. So it's all about being optimistic, being positive about the entire idea. And that's what your colleagues in the brainstorming session will love it, because you are supporting their idea. You are not throwing out their idea, but then you are supporting it and saying, hey, listen, how to make this idea work? What should we do? What we need to have? And that's where you're looking at the strength and the positive aspects of each of these star ideas and trying to see if there is enough information, as in the square, to support that star idea. So look for the values and benefits of any idea. Look for the good points. What are the benefits and values of this idea? And what is good about the idea itself? Right? So now it's a very positive phase, the rectangle, the beam. Yep. Now that we have covered the three shapes, we go on to the next shape, the phase. As in a circular phase, express your emotions about the new star fully. Now when you're expressing, it's an emotion. Use some of the ideas you like, some of the ideas you don't like. So both negative and positive aspects of any idea is there. The time now that you have completed the first three phases, the fourth phase is the phase, the circular phase. Emotions, ideas to bring out your emotions. But don't do this in the earlier phases. When the star idea is coming, encourage and appreciate. Square idea to support the star idea with facts and figures. And now with the beam idea, you're optimistic. You are looking at how to make that star idea work. But now that you're done with the positive phase of your thought process, you come into the circular phase. So it's about feelings, it's about emotions, it's about intuition. It is time to express your feelings. No need to explain why you feel good or why you feel bad about the idea. Express any you need to justify, but ideas to bring out emotions. Yeah, it's how you feel, not the why. It's very important. I repeat, it's how you feel, not the why. And now the next phase, the cylinder. Punch holes and criticize all weaknesses in the star idea. Throw the idea into the cylindrical rubbish bin, because this is the time to exercise caution. Look for the risks involved in that idea. Think as to why the idea may not work, and then you be the judge and probe and probe and probe until you're satisfied. If you're not satisfied, just dump that idea into the cylinder. And having done that, we come to the final phase, the triangle, the final shape. It's time to decide. Triangle has many alternatives at the bottom. Your job is to analyze all the pros and cons of different ideas. By the process of extraction and elimination, you will be able to make a final decision at the top, right? At the top. The final decision is at the top. Because why? Summarize the thinking process for final shape of things to come. Yeah? Decide what you want. What is next? What have you got so far? It this star to the square, to the rectangle, to the circle, the cylinder, and now the triangle helps you in the beginning to think about what to think and put an order and prioritize. You have got your wonderful idea. That is chances of working, succeeding very, very high. So that's why thinking in shapes that shape your thinking. So you look at the start of an idea, you look at the square to back up that idea, you look at the rectangle to further back up to making sure that how this idea will definitely work. And now that you're done with the positive side of the idea, you're not rejected an idea, but you've only worked in support of it. You go to the circle, express your emotions, positive, negative, right? And then finally, time to start the chopping, the cylinder, right? Where you throw the useless ideas or ideas that are not likely to work, look at all the risks, and then finally, the triangle helps you prioritize your different alternatives and arrive at a conclusion, arrive at a decision. And that is how these six shapes, wonderful shapes, easy to remember, helps you make up your mind, helps you focus and go forward, and brainstorming the bright way, the right way to succeed and make sure that you get your ideas worth. Brainstorming. Email learning@oscarmurphy.com for more. And of course, please feel free to visit our website. And your mind, please believe me, your mind remembers shapes better for a better thinking. Yes, please subscribe to Oscar Murphy Life Strategies for more such valuable insights into understanding and becoming better in your life, in your career, in your relationship, and whatnot. Our YouTube channel, please subscribe, Oscar Murphy Life Strategies. Wish you all the best.